This lesson is to show the vector h that is a subset of R3. This 3 stands for 3 terms or 3 elements, okay? Since there's 1, 2, 3, that's where this 3 comes from. So one more time, we want to show that this vector is a subspace in R3. Now, we are going to rewrite this vector into another vector without the variable t. Okay, so as you can see, 2t, 0, negative t, we can rewrite it as 2, 0, negative 1 without the t. And since there are 3 terms or 3 elements, it is in R3. Based on the theorem, if we have multiple vectors from v1 to v infinity, whatever they are, and it is a vector space of v, then it is a subspace of v. Okay, so one more time, all we're doing is just rewriting the original vector into another vector without the variable t. Since we have 3 terms, 2, 2, 0, 0, negative 1 without the t, then this new vector without the variable is in R3. Why R3? Because we have 1 term, 2 term, 3 term, or 1 element, 2 element, 3 element. So that's why this vector is in R3. Okay? Next example, same concept. However, if you look at this very carefully, we have 2 variables. We still have 1 term, 2 term, 3 terms, okay? But we have multiple variables. So what we're going to do is separate them into each variable. We have 5b, 1b, but no b down here. So we have 5, 1, 0 for the first new vector. Next, we have 1c here. This is 2c, but here there is no c. And down here there is a c. So 2, 0, 1, which is here, the second new vector. One more time. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and we have multiple variables. So we're going to separate them by its variable. So I have 5b, 1b, no b. So that's where 510 comes from. Here I have 2c, no c here, but I have 1c down here. So 2, 0, 1, c. Okay, so now this original vector can be rewritten into 2 new vectors without the variable. This is the variable b, this is the variable c, and both of this is in the subspace of R3 because I have 1 element, 2 element, 3 element, 1 element, 2 element, 3 element. Okay, next example, again, same concept. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and we have s and t as a variable. So if you look carefully, I have 1s, 2s, 1s, 1s, 2s, 0s. That's this new vector, the s variable. 3t, negative 1t, negative 1t, 4t. So I have 3, negative 1, 4, which is the other new vector with the t variables. Okay, so this is the s variable, this is the t variable. And since I have 1 element, 2 element, 3 element, 4 element, same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4 element. So these 2 new vectors are in the subspace of R4. Okay, so one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, S, 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 no S, that's where the 0 come from. So this right here is the S variable, and this is the T variable, okay? So all I did, again, one more time, is just rewrite this original vector into two new vectors without the S variable, without the T variable, and both of these new vectors do have 4 elements, so there are in R4, okay? And the last example, same concept again. I have A, but I have no A here, and I have 1 A here, so I have 3, nothing, and then 1, so that's right here. 1B, nothing, and -5, which is here. However, this 4 right here doesn't have a variable, so therefore this 4 doesn't belong to any of the vector. So that's the reason why I have an empty space here, empty space here. And because of that, this new vectors only has 1 element and 2 element. 1 element, 2 element. Since it's only 2 element, it is not a subspace of R3. Okay, so be very careful. In these situations, I only have 1 variable, 2 variable, but this middle one right here, there is no variable. This 4 doesn't belong to anywhere. So therefore, I only have 2 elements for this new vector, 2 element for this new vector. So there's an empty space here, there's an empty space here. So now there's only 2 elements, 2 elements. So here it says 3 elements, so therefore these 2 new vector cannot be a subspace of R3, because R3 means I must have 3 elements, 3 elements. However, here I have an empty space, so therefore these 2 new vectors are not in the subspace of R3. Now be very careful here, and I know you will ask, well, how come there's a 0 here? How come this is in the element? Now think of this, assuming that there's a T right here, so it's okay. If a 0 is right there, then it is okay, because you can have 0T. But over here, the last example, there is no variable here. It's just a 4, so you cannot have that. So therefore, that 4 doesn't belong to any of the subspace, okay, any of the vectors. Okay, so be very careful. If I have a 0, then it is okay, because you can have 0T. Okay, that's why I didn't write 0T, because 0 is, anything is just 0. So it's okay to have a 0. But down here, I have a 4. This 4 doesn't have a variable. So anything that is not a 0, then it doesn't belong to any vectors. Okay, so one more time. If it's not a 0, then it doesn't belong. If it is a 0, then it is okay. Okay, so be very careful. One more time. Our objective is to rewrite this original vectors into another vector without the variable. Okay, and make sure the new vector has 3 elements, so that it is a subspace of R3. Okay, same thing with the second example. I have 2 variables, so therefore I have 2 new vectors in R3, because I have 1 element, 2 element, 3 element. Same thing down here. I have 4 elements with 2 variables. This is the S variable, this is the T variable. And as you can see, you can have a 0, okay? But when you come down to this part, this doesn't belong to any vector. So therefore, this last example is not a subspace of R3, because you do not have 3 elements. You only have 2 elements.